Hey, I'm Will Wheaton, and I have just received a dump truck full of gold bullion to tell you to watch the Scene Snobs.
Now that I'm on Noom, there are so many leftovers. Try Noom today. Check out our affiliate link.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Scene Snobs Reviews. I am your host, Mick Manhattan, back together with you for another review. That's right. Today we are reviewing the new movie, Weird, the Al Yankovic story, the biopic about Weird Al Yankovic himself, the man who is the king of parodies. If you don't know Weird Al Yankovic, then I suggest you read up on your history because he was one of the absolute best. He made some of the best songs that were parodies of some of the most major songs in ever. And guys, thank you so much for joining me. Comment along. Let me know what you think. Let's talk about it. I'm going to get to you guys after my review. But let's get started. Okay, so the movie stars Daniel Radcliffe playing Al Yankovic, and it shows his life through childhood into adulthood and how he exactly became the Weird Al that we all know and love. It is exactly what the Scene Snobs always try to achieve, and that is absurd. The movie is 1,000% absurd, and I am not against it whatsoever. I absolutely love this movie. I can watch it again. I could turn it back on again and have a good time with it. It was a delight to watch a comedy, just a straight up fun comedy. After 95 days of horror movies. But yeah, getting into it, and I was really looking forward to this one. It premiered at TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival, in September, and now it kind of continued. It went on to it's on Roku now, who produced the movie and brought it out, and it is a Roku original movie. So I don't know if you can watch it anywhere else. I'm pretty sure Roku probably has an app and you could check it out. But yeah, it was written by Weird Al himself and Eric Appeal, and who is from Funny or Die. And they did a spoof documentary about Weird Al back in the day that, kind of follows within the same vein. It was all parody. It was all fun. And that's what I loved about this movie. This entire movie is a biopic that is a parody of many, many things, but especially Weird Al's life. And the whole thing throughout was just fantastic. So many recognizable faces. That just goes to show you that Weird Al has made friends for many, many years who are willing to back him up and be there for him. Some comedy greats, all playing legends. Rainn Wilson as Dr. Demento was so much fun. He played such a great character in this. Dr. Demento, of course, was the mentor for Weird Al in real life and in this movie as well, but with a lot more absurd of a twist. It took you in so many directions that you knew weren't the facts, but you didn't care. You just enjoy it. And I got to tell you, they poke fun at Queen, and I really love that about it. I thought it was a really fun time. Here's my big thing. I like musical biopics. I like biopics in general, and biographies in general. I read a lot of them and such, and I just enjoy it. And I remember when Queen came out with that, their movie, I might as well call it a Freddie Mercury movie. They call it a Queen movie, but really Bohemian Rhapsody. And it got so much acclaim and so much, but it was just, in my opinion, not a great movie. It was okay at best. It wasn't that great. All around, and I knew a lot of factual errors to it, but whatever. You can Hollywood up a movie. It's not a problem for me. And I know I'm kind of going on, pontificating a little bit on biopics, but I do like them, and I really appreciate them, because then the very next year or two later, you had a great biopic in Elton John's movie Rocket Man, truly one of the best I've seen in years, and it got very little to no acclaim. He won an Oscar for it, but it deserves so much more, especially considering you gushed over, the Queen movie. Now, with that being said, this might be my favorite biopic movie out of a musician. I absolutely love this. And it's all fake. It's all a parody of his real life. And I love that about it. I love that the master of parody in songs decided to make a movie about himself, and none of it is, all of it's just thrown off a bit. Like, the characters are real, but all the stories are thrown off. Emma Rachel Wood as Madonna was fantastic. She did such a good job, playing Madonna, and just like how she comes into his life and where she ultimately ends up. I love where they ended the movie. All of it's thrown off. I mean, they have Amish Paradise being played in the 80s. They had, so much, so many people just kind of showing up and playing these different roles, and I really appreciate it. For some reason, you had Andy Warhol there, played by Conan O'Brien. Like, it just so much drew you off, because you're like, what's happening here? When he goes to the party, the Dr. Demento party, in the beginning, when he's finally starting to get recognized, it just was fantastic, because like everybody that's there makes sense, but at the same time it's just so weird, which again makes more sense in this. I really embraced the absurdity of this one, and honestly, my rating for this, I don't even think it's high enough, but because I am kind of hard on things, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I might up this to a 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed this, and my biggest part of rating is, how did it make me feel afterwards? Am I going to rewatch it? Am I eager to rewatch it? And I am with this. Daniel Radcliffe knocked it out of the park, and I love seeing Weird Al in there playing his record label producer. The whole thing was just a great time, and it took you for such a weird twists and turns through it that we know just wasn't the case. Then in the end, to have a montage the way he did, that starts out so beautifully, and it's clearly him as a child, and then as it grows, you're just like, what is happening right now? He's passing this off as truth, and I love it. And he's clearly in the movie. So I do highly suggest this movie. I think this is a fantastic movie to go check out. It's wonderful. It's on Roku now. Let's get down in the comments, because I really want to touch down on it and see what you guys all think. Chris says, what's up? What's going on, buddy? The chicken's here. What's going on? It just snowed today. Oh, hide. Stay inside. You have like 6 more months of snow. Stay inside. Stay safe. Chris says, it's what you expected from Weird Al. It is. And honestly, it exceeded expectations a little bit, because it was just, I was belly laughing a few times in this movie, that just like it outright just kind of like, I'm still thinking about some of the scenes, and it just cracking me up. And everybody in it was just fantastic. They just did such a good job in it. And it's so funny, because I checked on Rotten Tomatoes. You know me, I like to check the audience score, and it's at an 88, which it absolutely deserves, and it's certified fresh at 89% on, which is huge. It just did such a great job, kind of pulling everything together. Who's the actor's name? Toby Huss, who you've seen in American Horror Story and he played Allison's dad, Judy Greer's husband, in the first Halloween, David Gordon Green Halloween movie, the one who died. So he did such a good job as the father. And then Julianne Nicholson, who played Weird Al's wife, is in the movie. And it's funny, because I was like, wait, so Marilyn Monroe's mother is playing Weird Al's father? That works, because she played Marilyn Monroe's mother in the Blonde movie this year. And in that movie, I'm like, it's just terrible. In this, she's perfect. She cracking me up the whole time. I like her as an actor. And she's in a lot of stuff. So when she popped up in this, I was like really excited, because I hated Blonde. If you go back and watch my review of that, which is another biopic that just missed on all cylinders. Whereas this one did. And again, like when it comes to like the biopic stuff like that, I don't need it to be perfect. I don't need it to be right on point, all facts all the time. I can take a lot out, and you can do different things. And Blonde was fine for that, because it was all based in fiction. But and I don't even want to compare the two, because this doesn't compare. This is such a good movie. And I love that Daniel Radcliffe played Weird Al in this. He really doesn't look much like him at all. But he went whole hog. He went in it. There's a lot of faces show up and just do a really good job. Lin-Manuel Miranda pops up out of nowhere. The narrator who is playing Weird Al, narrating his own thing is Diedrich Bader. You have Weird Al in your movie, and they still got somebody to come in and do it. It's just the whole thing. There's a great scene with Thomas Lennon. If you remember him, he played the Lieutenant Dangle in Reno 911, and he and Toby Huss's character, who plays the father of Weird Al, have such a funny fight scene. It's one of my favorite fight scenes I've ever seen in a movie. It cracked me up the entire. I'm laughing now. It cracked me up the entire time I was watching it. I absolutely just they knocked it out of the park with this. The comedy is on point. Everybody just did a great job. And I really appreciated this movie. So I got to up it to 4.5 out of 5. I really like this. Chris says the whole Madonna story was amazing from beginning to end. The Pablo Escobar adding to it, and I don't want to give anything away, but I want you guys to watch it because it's so funny. But the Madonna Pablo Escobar that whole scene where it comes about, but she was funny through it, like where she just like they start arguing. He's clearly strung out and he's drunk, and she's like, "Don't go anywhere unless you have your car keys." Like it's just so funny. I loved it. And it just kind of playing this whole thing. She's playing like that type of character, and she did it. And I gotta know if Madonna actually signed off on this to be able to do it, because if she did, I got to give her points, because that's a lot. That's a lot to throw at somebody. But I'm pretty sure they were friends from back in the day, so maybe that's why. But I absolutely like this movie. I had such a good time with it. And I hope you guys did too. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you going to check it out? If you haven't checked it out yet, are you looking forward to it? Sound off. I'd love to hear it. Or come over to the Discord and let's talk about it, because it is worth the watch, especially if you're looking for like a good comedy now. Guys, of course, I'm Mick Manhattan from the Scene Snobs. I host the Scene Snobs podcast every Tuesday night with my partner in crime, Casey, the Madman Plot. And this week we got into it. We talked about some fun things, anti-heroes, and are they the villain or are they not the villain? We don't know. We also have a morning live show you can check out every Friday morning at 7 to 10 a.m. It's our morning drive live show. We get into some fun stuff there and have some great conversations. You should definitely check that out. And we want to thank our wonderful patrons. Thank you guys so much for joining up, supporting us, helping us keep the lights on. You are all amazing. We truly appreciate you. Tim, Paul, Stacy, Matt, Aaron, Chris S., Chris H., Dale, Dan, John B., Ron, Jason, AJ, Radar, John W. If you guys want to help us fill up that middle portion of this picture, we'd appreciate it. Go on over to patreon.com/thescenesnobs and sign up for one of our 3 tiers that are available. We also have the Snobs Nation Discord. Go over and check it out. We have great moderators there having great conversations. It's a very cool community of people who are meeting up, hanging out, having a good time, and I love it. I appreciate everybody who's joined up, and we'd love to have you guys on there too, so go check it out. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe. We really appreciate it. We're pushing this channel. We're trying to do the best we can, and we love all the support that you guys have been giving us. But if you haven't subscribed, maybe hit that subscribe button, hit that like, because it helps us in the algorithm. We also have merch available. Christmas is coming up. Let's get it. Let's all wear Scene Snob stuff for the holidays. Why not? We got some Christmas stuff on there as well. We have new stuff coming, so make sure you go check it out. And of course, the Scene Snobs. We're everywhere. Go make sure to go follow us, because we have different content all over where we go. Get to know us, hang out with us, and have a good time. This is any one of our handles, but you can pretty much find us at the Scene Snobs everywhere. And you can follow Casey, my partner in crime, at Plotamus21 on Instagram, at Casey the Man on TikTok, and at Twitter Night on Twitter. All right, everybody. I am, of course, have said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm Mick Manhattan. Thank you so much for joining me. We really appreciate you. You guys are awesome. And we will talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care.